Hello everybody, this is Bob here. Welcome to race number 12 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the Hampton 500 at the New Smyrna Speedway. This has no doubt been an interesting season so far with the back and forth battle between Ryan Blaney and Bob, and now the circus comes to a second short track of the season. While the previous two races this weekend were a bit of a mess, the drivers for today's race have been told to keep it clean, and I think they will. These are the most elite drivers after all. Since this is a short track, only a limited number of drivers can race. For this track, that limit has been capped at 24, so some drivers will have to go home early. If you haven't seen the other two races from this weekend, here's the event format. We'll start with 4 heat races. In each one, the bottom 4 finishers will go to the C main, the middle 4 finishers will go to the B main, and the top 4 finishers will advance straight to the A main. The winner of each heat race will earn 5 championship points. Once the heat races are done, we will then run the C main. The top 4 finishers in the C main will advance to the B main, and the winner will earn 1 championship point. Then will come the B main, where the top 8 finishers will advance to the A main, and the winner of that race will earn 3 championship points. Then the main event will commence. Hope I got all that right, so with that being said, let's begin. Alright, here we go for the first heat race of the day for the Skittles Cup Series at New Smyrna. So in the pole for this one is Kyle Larson, alongside him in second is Rebecca, third is Russell David, fourth is Ryan Blaney, fifth is Danny Hamlin, sixth is Doug, 7th is Alex Bowman, 8th is Douglas, 9th is Marshall Sr., 10th is William Byron, 11th is Derber, and 12th is Reed Sorensen. Okay. So the Cup Series at New Smyrna. We've seen quite a lot of truck racing here, quite a lot of Siemens Natchez racing here, but now it is time to bring out the main series of them all, the Cup Series, the main event of the whole weekend. I mean, the other two series has kind of stolen the show, but their show is done. So now we got some cup action here going on. This race should be an interesting one. Well, all the races should be. Well, this is heat race number 1. Well, this race will also be interesting. See who finishes where. And here they come off of turn number 4. And green flag is in the air for heat race number 1 for the NROL Skittles Cup Series. Rebecca trying to get a bit of a run on the high line. However, Kyle's going to steal it. And the island is pretty... Oh, Carlos is already getting in a bit of trouble. Already gets tagged by Russell David, who was trying to improve on his performance from yesterday in the Siemens Natchez race. Russell David are making it to get to the front as quickly as possible. Although it's pretty soon to get up to the front. But Russell David, though, now trying to make haste. And there he goes right underneath Kyle Larson. Russell David will lead this lap. After second day in a row, Russell David will lead a lap in a heat race. Here comes Oliver, though, not giving up. I mean, Duck, not Oliver. They both look the same. As Duck the Great Western, he's going to make his way underneath Russell David, and will take the lead here on this lap. Ooh, a little bumping and banging. Very aggressive stuff from the field behind as Alex Bowman now trying to make his way around Kyle Larson. Alex Bowman hasn't the best year, trying to do better. Alex Bowman, though, trying to keep up. Russell David as well, trying to get around Doug to try to take the lead back. Sure, trying hard. And he's going to go into Doug once again. He has the lead, but that could be short-lived. Here comes Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman hasn't the best season, trying to improve. Remember, if you win, you will get 5 championship points. Yeah, Alex Bowman trying to get around Russell David. These two in particular not having the best seasons. And they're trying to change that. So Russell David leads them for now. But there's still a handful of laps to go. So Alex Bowman trying to find a way around Russell David. All field single file for the time being. I guess after the crazy race that we've seen this weekend, the Cup drivers, wanting to be a bit more relaxed. Although it's still going to be a solid move right here and there, as here is Alex Bowman now trying to make his way around Russell David. Although Russell David going to shut the door on him for now. Now he's gonna run here. And Alex Bowman will be passing Russell David this time by. A pair of young guns racing for Chevrolet. Luckily, Western Engine, though, not backing down. And Doug just makes his way past Russell David. Russell is still in a very safe spot, though, to make it all the way to the A main. So already he'll be having a better day than yesterday. Remember, top 4 makes it to the A main. As Duck now trying to get it past Alex Bowman. And even if you're top 4, you'll still make it to the A main, although there's still an incentive of winning. As Duck is now making his way underneath Alex Bowman. Russell David trying to keep up as well. He's staying behind for now, though. As Duck going to lead this lap. Alright, next up will be the white flag lap. Alex Bowman, though, he's got one more lap to try to get that win. White flag. Moment to go in heat race number 1 as Alex Bowman now trying to wheeze his way around Duck, the Great Western Engine, although Duck is going to shut the door on him. And Duck, the Great Western Engine, will come off of turn number 4 to win heat race number 1 at New Smyrna. Alright. So, in just like Cup, in the Cup Series, we've seen things a little bit toned down, but that's probably for the best. Either way, Duck, the Great Western Engine, and Russ David will be able to fast track to the A main. So that's very good for him, already having a better day than yesterday. He'll actually be in the A main and will be able to race for glory. But of course, we'll see how that goes when that race comes along. So to give you your full finishing gear for this one, so Duck, of course, he won it with Alex Bowman coming second, Russell David coming home in third, and Martin Truex Jr. coming home in fourth. Those four will be moving on to the A main. Meanwhile, we got Ryan Blaney in fifth, Kyle Larson in sixth, William Byron in seventh, and Durber in eighth. Those guys will be going to the B main. And then you have Denny Hamlin in ninth, Douglas in 10th, Rebecca in 11th, and Reed Sorensen in 12th will have to go to the C main. So we'll see how those guys do in their respective races. But in the meantime, let's bring on heat race number 2. Here we go for heat race number 2 for the NROL Skittles Cup Series in New Smyrna. So let's give you a starting grid for this one. So in the pole for this one is Kyle Busch. Alongside second is Oliver. Third is Brad Keselowski. Fourth is Chris Buescher. Fifth is Frank DeBobbin. Sixth is Bank Coaches. Seventh is Clint Boyer. Eighth is Barry Sales Sr. Ninth is Matt DiBenedetto. 10th is Jimmy Johnson. 11th is Mommy. And 12th is Mr. Letty's brother. Let's get another pretty stacked lineup. Well, this is a pretty stacked series. So let's see who comes on top in this one. Now we haven't had the two Bank Coaches cars in this race. Got Frank DeBobbin running his Bank Coach scheme tonight, and then you have Bank Coaches as well. Those cars may look the same, but there's a reason for that. But we'll see how those guys do later on. As for the front runners, well, we'll see what they can do in this race. So the Candyman Cowboy's going to lead them off. And green flag is in the air for race number 2 at New Smyrna. As usual, leader getting a bit of an advantage. This time it's Kyle Busch who's going to lead them off in a very quick manner. Brad Keselowski, however, not backing down either, as here he comes through the pack. And Brad Keselowski into second, trying to chase down Kyle Busch. Brad Keselowski already has one win on the year, and he's going to try to go for another one. Bank Coach moving his way up through the pack as well. But it's Kyle Busch who has the dominant position right now. Go back here, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. actually making his way into the final stretch spot. He was all the way back there. But here is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. who is already making haste. And Stenhouse now in the final transfer spot, trying to keep up with the other guys. They got Matt DiBenedetto and others right behind him though. Well, front field is pretty tame. And Brad Keselowski trying to get up to Kyle Busch. It's quite an interesting difference between these cars and those that we've seen here. I guess these cars are a little bit less nimble around here. The bank coaches now trying to get past Brad Keselowski for a second. Bank coaches been having some good runs recently, trying to keep the momentum going. And here he is trying to get around. Oh, Brad Keselowski, they're going to shut the door on him. So bank coaches being as quick as they can to try to find a way around Brad Keselowski. Of course, he's already in a very safe spot, but he wants to be in an even better spot. And I might do it here. Bank coach now on the inside of Brad Keselowski. Here he goes past Brad Keselowski for second. You know, Matt DiBenedetto was that moves up into fourth. Looks like Skittles lost quite a lot of ground. And now Matt DiBenedetto now in second. I mean fourth. Still in a very good spot though. Is in the final transfer spot, although he's under fire from Chris Buescher. Meanwhile, Brad is also trying to find his way back around bank coaches. This is a pretty good battle here, but they don't want to do anything too stupid. At this point, they just want that glory. Brad is going to stick his foot on bank coaches. As Stu's still trying to catch bank coach Kyle Busch, who so far has led every single lap in this heat race. And Brad Keselowski's now made his way past bank coaches. Meanwhile, we have a battle for the final transfer spot. Now between Chris Buescher and Matt DiBenedetto, as Chris Buescher is now making his way around Matt DiBenedetto. Chris Buescher, who's had a few bad runs lately, trying to get back on top, is already making the steps towards doing that. As he's now making his way around Matt DiBenedetto, and now is up into fourth. Meanwhile, you have bank coaches, who is now once again trying to get around Brad Keselowski. This battle for second, well, it does continue. And meanwhile, Matt DiBenedetto now making his way back around Chris Buescher. Here comes Freund Baldwin, who I haven't talked about too much in this particular race. He's so far not in a very good spot as bank coach that moves his way past Brad Keselowski once again. White flag, warm up to go in heat race number 2. This is going to become a very interesting race as Chris Buescher now moves his way around Matt DiBenedetto once again. Can Chris Buescher hold off the Matt DiBenedetto for another turn? Yes, he will. Chris Buescher will make the final turn spot, and Kyle Busch, who led every single lap, will win heat race number 2 and score some bonus championship points. Good for Kyle Busch, as he still has yet to do anything super amazing this season, and now he's got a shot to, make something happen. Now, it's a pretty good day for some, not so much of a good day for others. As you have Kyle Busch winning, then you have bank coaches coming second, Brad Keselowski in third, and Chris Buescher in fourth. Those guys will be moving on to the A main. Then you have Matt DiBenedetto in fifth, Oliver in sixth, and Freund Baldwin in seventh, and Ricky Stenhouse in eighth. Those guys will move to the B main. So Freund Baldwin, not in a usual spot. He's gonna have some more work to do tonight, though. So we'll see how that goes. And you have Clint Boyer in ninth, Jimmy Johnson 10th, Mr. brother in 11th, and Mommy in 12th. Who will all be going to the C main, and we'll see how those guys do in that one. So that's heat race number 2. Let's bring on heat race number 3. Alright, time to bring on heat race number 3. So to give you a starting group for this one, starting the pool for this one is Donald alongside him. Second is Chase Elliott. Third is Nia. Fourth is Tim Tom. Fifth is Kurt Busch. Sixth is Kevin Harvick. Seventh is Cole Custer. Eighth is Grosjean. Ninth is Ryan Newman. 10th is Bud Walsh. 11th is Mr. Lighty, not brother. And 12th is BJ McLeod. Okay, so we saw 2 pretty good heat races. All the last race, we saw Kyle Busch led every single lap, which is the first time we've seen that in a heat race in this weekend. So let's see how this one turns out. Should be a good one though. Big question in everyone's mind: who's gonna make it, who's not gonna make it. Well, of course, wherever you finish, you'll still have some chance to get to the A main. Anyway, coming up for turn number 4, green flag is back in the air. Well, green flag is in the air for number 3. She's still getting a bit of a run on the high line, although here's Donald now making haste on the low line. Nia already trying to get up to the front, although Donald still holding them off. It does. Well, Nia now trying to make her way up to the front. And Nia didn't do that great in yesterday's Team National Series events. So she's now trying to redeem herself in the race that really matters. This is, of course, the Cup race, the one where Nia's actually racing for points. So, still he does today. And Nia was going to lead a lap in this heat race. Here comes Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch, another driver I've been spoken about too much this season. Trying to fast his way to the A main. Here's Cole Custer. Custer, another driver I've talked about too much. And there's Ryan Newman, who's moved away from the pack very quickly. And Ryan Newman now getting into the final transfer spot. Is that the final transfer spot? Yes, it is the final transfer spot. Alright. There should be a final transfer spot, yeah. He's got quite a lot of fire from behind him, though. So Nia now leading some laps. But she got Kurt Busch behind. We'll go back here for fourth. Not fourth, but fifth. There's a bit of a battle going on. Chase Elliott going at it with Donald and Mrs. Lady come up here as well. You know, you see Mr. Lady doing things here. And here's Chase Elliott in fifth. Taylor has one win on the season, trying to go for another. Now there's actually become a bit of a growing battle for third and first. As you have Kurt Busch trying to make his way around Nia, and then you have Ryan Newman trying to get around Cole Custer. He's gonna do it first though. Ryan Newman on the inside of Cole Custer and Kurt Busch on the inside of Nia. They've got two battles happening at once. Very close racing action here at New Smyrna. Well, Kurt Busch going to try to go for the lead. Here's Kurt Busch, who's now underneath Nia. And Kurt Busch trying to become number one. And not enough, his brother Kyle Busch just won heat race number 2. And now Kurt Busch trying to become the second Busch brother to win a heat race tonight. Meanwhile, for third, here's Ryan Newman, who's now made his way around Cole Custer. And Chase Elliott trying to get up a spot on Cole Custer as well. Ryan Newman over success to make it around Cole Custer. And Chase Elliott now into the final transfer spot. Chase Elliott wants to keep his momentum going. 2 laps to go in heat race number 3. And Chase Elliott going to move up another spot on Ryan Newman. That's going to put him in the final transfer spot. Meanwhile, the battle for lead is now trying to heat up. 1 more lap to go in heat race number 3. Here is Nia, who is now trying to get back around Kurt Busch to win this heat race. And it looks like she will. Kurt Busch can hold up Nia. And Nia is going to come through the final corner. And Nia will become the second female to win a qualifying race. And will win heat race number 3 at New Smyrna. And Ryan Newman gets the final transfer spot. Alright. So Ryan Newman and the other top 4 will fast track to the A main. So to give you the rest of your results, you've got Nia, of course, win the race with Kurt Busch coming second and Chase third and Ryan Newman fourth. All those will be going to the A main. Then you have Dawn in 5th, Cole Custer in 6th, Mr. Lady in 7th, and Gridgen in 8th will be going to the B main, which is still pretty good for Mr. Lady. Mr. Lady not the fastest driver into the B main, so now he's got a better shot at making it to the A main, so that'll be interesting to see how he does later on. And then you have Gavin Everett in 9th, Tim Tom in 10th, Bo Walls in 11th, and BJ McLeod in 12th. Those guys will have to go all the way down to the C main. We'll see how those guys do in that race though. But for then though, we got 1 more heat race to do. So let's do that one right now. Alright, this is the final heat race of the night. Let's now bring you a starting grid for this one. So the pole for this one is the Real Xbox Nerd. Alongside second is Eric Jones. Third is Austin Dillon. Fourth is Tyler Reddick. 5th is Ryan Priest, 6th is Purser, 7th is Eric NROL, 8th is Christopher Bell, 9th is Joey Logano, 10th is Danny Hicks, and 11th is Quinn Half. Alright, final and 4th heat race to decide who's going to go where. This should be an interesting one as well. We got both of the RCR guys in this race. We've also got the real Xbox nerd, but hasn't had a great season. I think it's actually the real Xbox nerd's second attempt at trying to get into the main event, because I think real Xbox nerd, he had to go to the B main back at Five Flag Speedway and didn't actually suggest, or didn't actually go on to race in the A main, or maybe he didn't. I don't really remember. That was quite a while ago, actually. Anyway, but whatever. It's time for tonight, and green flag is in the air for heat race number 4. Race Box Nerd getting out to a lead in this one. Straight off the bat, that's a Boston Dylan up here as well, but real Xbox Nerd makes way past the field and into the lead at New Smyrna. Austin Dillon, though, now trying to make his way up through the field. I'll get Ryan Priest as well. Ryan Priest exited pretty well in yesterday's Siemens National Series race. Let's see if he can bring the momentum into today's Cup race. Austin Dillon, though, makes his way around Eric Jones, and now Ryan Priest up into the 3rd position. He's also got rookie Christopher Bell behind him. 2 rookies up here. Ryan Priest into 3rd now. And Christopher Bell, who hasn't had the best season since the season opener, trying to get back up here. And Christopher Bell now into the final transfer spot. He's going to try to pull away from the rest of the guys behind him. And maybe even try to make up a spot on Ryan Priest, although he really doesn't need to. He just needs to finish in the top 4 to fast track to the A main. Here comes Joey Logano and others now trying to steal that glory. Meanwhile, a bit of a developed battle for 3rd as Ryan Priest now making his way past Austin Dillon and move into 2nd. Ryan Priest trying to win another heat race in this weekend. He actually won his heat race in the Siemens National Series yesterday. Now he's trying to repeat history in the Skittles Cup Series. Christopher Bell, however, trying to get back up to him, and Austin Dillon actually losing some spots here. Now Austin Dillon under some serious fire from Joey Logano. Meanwhile, now battle for 2nd as Christopher Bell now moves his way up to the pack, and Christopher Bell now moving his way around Ryan Priest for 2nd. There's a pretty interesting battle between these 2 rookies, as Christopher Bell going to clear Ryan Priest and try to set his sights on the real Xbox nerd. Ryan Priest, though, not going to give up as Joey Logano makes his way around Austin Dillon in the final transfer spot. And the battle for 2nd rages on between a couple of Cup rookies. As now Ryan Priest trying to find his way back around Christopher Bell. It seems no one has been able to catch the leader. You know, real Xbox nerd trying to become the 2nd driver tonight to lead every lap in a heat race. As now the 2 guys behind him fight for that position, and now there's actually a fight for the final transfer spot. As Eric Jones now trying to find his way around Joey Logano. Eric Jones hasn't had the best season trying to get his way into the A main. As Ryan Priest now makes his way back around Christopher Bell. 4 laps to go. As Joey Logano is now still in the final transfer spot. But still under fire from Eric Jones, who is trying to make his way into the A main. Oh, here is Christopher Bell. Still trying to make his way around Ryan Priest. But Eric Jones will make his way around Joey Logano. Eric Jones trying to become another JGR affiliated car to get into the A main. And it's still Rage Bell for 2nd. As Bell gets around Ryan Priest once again. And now Eric Jones trying to hold that final transfer. Here comes Austin Dillon. Warm up to go in here. Race number 4. Eric Jones still not final transfer. But Austin Dillon is hungry. Austin Dillon's one more chance to get past Eric Jones. I know he's going to do it. So the real Xbox Nerders led every single lap in the series will win. Here is number 4. and will score some points and fast track his way all the way to the A main. And Aaron Jones will also get to the final transfer spot. Alright. So look at your official results. You got Christopher Bell. You have Rick Bucks Nerd winning, and then you have Christopher Bell in second and Ryan Priest in third. Of course, these two kept on battling it back and forth for several laps, although it doesn't really matter because both will still move on to the A main, and we'll of course see how those guys do in that. And then you have Aaron Jones making the final spot to the A main, so very good effort for him. Then you have also still in fifth, Joe Lagon 6th, James 6th and 7th, and Quinn Alf in 8th, who surprisingly, a number of underdogs making it to the B main, which is still pretty good for him. Also, still not the fastest guy. Going to move on to the B main along with J6 and Quinn Alf. And then you have Tyler Breck in 9th, Percy Up in 10th, and Eric NROL 11th. Some of the slowest cars in this field, or in this particular heat race, somehow. All three of them got to go to the into the C main and have to try to find the way out of that race. Yeah. However, all 4 heat races are complete, so speaking of the C main, let's now bring that on and get this show on the road. Alrighty then, so we've had some pretty fun heat racing, and now it's time for a couple more qualifying races, and this time, it's time for the C main. So, with that being said, let's give you a starting group for said race. So the pool for this one is Percy Serb alongside second is Denny Hamlin, third is Douglas, fourth is Tyler Reddick, fifth is Tim Tom, sixth is Bob Walls, seventh is Kevin Harvick, 8th is Rebecca, 9th is Eric Garola, 10th is Mommy, 11th is Clint Boyer, 12th is Mr. Light's brother, 13th is Jimmy Johnson, 14th is Big Jimmy McLeod, and 15th is Reed Sorensen. Okay. So we got a slightly bigger field and slightly longer race as well. 20 laps is the distance. Should be long enough for these guys to battle it out and see who can come out on top. Because, of course, this race is, well, you know, it's really to determine who was on. It really is to determine who is going to move on into the B main. So this race, only top 4 drivers will be moving on. Everyone else will be going home. So let's see, 20 laps from now, who is going to move on to have a chance to compete for glory? We're gonna find out. Alright, so they come through the final corner, and green flag is in the air for the C main at New Smyrna. Percy being the leader here, getting out to a bit of a run already, and everyone else behind him will begin to battle. You have Douglas as well. You got some unusually fast, well, unusually slow guys in this race. You know, Douglas and Percy, these guys are usually, well, I say usually. To be fair, both Percy and Tim Tom have been having a pretty bad season. And now here they are in the lowest race. I will say though, they are in a good spot to eventually move on. You got Tim Tom, Douglas, and Percy all in the top 3. So they're in a very safe spot. Question now is who's going to make the final transfer. Here comes Kevin Harvick, who's now making his way around into Hamlin. He's going to be in the final transfer spot. And not too far behind him is his Stewart teammate of Eric Garola, who isn't in the final transfer spot, although he might try to get around him. So you could see a battle between a pair of Stewart Haas cars. Maybe not the best thing you want to see between teammates, especially in a race like this, but hey, what's he going to do? That's just auto racing. The top 3, though, you know, staying pretty civil, which is what you would expect out of teammates. But of course, everyone behind him trying to do their own thing. Now here comes Eric Garola. Actually, now you've got 3 Stewart Haas cars. Kevin Harvick, Eric Garola, and Clint Boyer are all in this race. Cole Custer, I think, is the only one. Well, but I'm pretty sure Custer moved up a race, but that's interesting. All 3 Stewart Haas cars running unusually slow. And then you've got these slowest guys. So you've got Fords in the top 6, both for 2 different teams. Technically 3, because Douglas raced for Solis Motorsports 2, which is still affiliated with Solis Motorsports number 1, but not exactly the same team, if you know what I mean. So Tim Tom, though, going to move his way around Douglas, and now trying to catch up to his teammate and best friend of Percy Serp. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick is still in the final transfer spot, and he might try to one-up on Douglas, who gets his back bumper. A little bit of contact there. Kevin Harvick, though, not giving up. His teammate, though, looks like he's backing off a bit. And Kevin Harvick already in a pretty safe spot on the final turn spot. He really doesn't need to do anything more than this. To be fair, he's probably trying to stay ahead of his teammate, Eric Garola. Meanwhile, battle for second breakdown between Douglas and Tim Tom as these two continue to battle out. Of course, second spot doesn't really mean much, although Kevin Harvick might get up a spot on Tim Tom. That's going to put Tim Tom in a very vulnerable position. As Kevin Harvick going to move his way around Tim Tom and take third away from him. Oh, here comes Eric Garola, though. Amarola trying to continue Tim Tom's not so good season by getting into the B main. Remember, if you finish outside top 4 in this race, you are done for the day. You cannot do anything more. And here is Eric Garola trying to move on to the next race up. And he's going to make his way around Tim Tom. Meanwhile, there's about for a second now as Kevin Harvick trying to move up another spot, this time on Douglas. I guess there's a incentive of winning, because if you win this race, you will earn 1 championship point. It's not much, but it could go a long way. And here is Kevin Harvick with 6 laps to go, trying to get around Douglas. Five laps to go. Tim Tom is losing spots, and now Eric Garola is now in the final transfer spot, but he's now got some guys behind him is Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin is the last JGR car to move up into the next race. And Kevin Harvick once again trying to get around Douglas, move up another spot. And Kevin Harvick, they're still side by side though. Harvick though, doesn't quite clear Douglas. He will this time though. 3 laps to go in the C main. Douglas though, actually not in that dangerous of a position, although this thing's gonna get a bit hairy as Douglas actually gonna move his way around, back around Kevin Harvick. Meanwhile, Eric Garola trying to keep his 4th spot. 2 laps to go. Ooh, Kevin Harvick. He's gonna get shoved high by his own teammate, Eric Garola. Man, these Haas boys, they do not like each other in this race. I can understand why though. Welcome to number 10 cars. White flag, 1 minute to go in the C main. Pursuits are about to a commanding lead, but the battle rages on. And here is the battle for the final turn spot as Denny Hamlin is trying to get around Kevin Harvick. Here he goes, final corner. Denny Hamlin trying to get the run over the corner. And it's going to be close, but Denny Hamlin inches Kevin Harvick to make it into the final transfer spot. I think, yeah. How about that? Denny Hamlin, a last-ditch effort. He will continue his reign today and will move on to the B main. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick was trying so hard. He is done. He is over. He's going to have to go home. All that. And it's going to come down just being 1 spot short of being able to continue on his run for today. So, giving you your finishing results in the C main, you got Pursuit winning the race with Douglas coming in 2nd, Eric Garola in 3rd, and Denny Hamlin in 4th. Those are the top 4, and those guys who will be moving on to the B main have a shot at an even better result. And then you have the rest of the field. Kevin Harvick coming in 5th, Clint Boyer 6th, Tim Tom 7th, BT McLeod 8th, Jimmy Johnson 9th, Rebecca 10th, Bo Wallace 11th, Reed Sorensen 12th, Mr. Lace's 13th, Tyler Reddick 14th, and Mommy in 15th. Right, that concludes the C main. Now it's time to one up and bring on the B main. So it was a pretty fun C main, but now it's time to bring on the B main. So let's see what's doing good for this one. On camera. Okay, so the pole for this one is Joey Logano. Alongside the 2nd is Frank DeBobbin. 3rd is Praser. 4th is Cole Custer. 5th is Denny Hamlin. 6th is Brian Blaney. 7th is William Byron. 8th is Gridgen. 9th is Eric Garola. 10th is Donald. 11th is Kyle Larson. 12th is Austin Dillon. 13th is Matt DiBenedetto. 14th is Oliver, 15th is Douglas, 16th is Barry Stalls Jr., 17th is Danger 6, 18th is Mr. Lighty, 19th is Derber, and 20th is Quinn Half. Alrighty then. So, slightly bigger race, slightly bigger field, slightly bigger everything. So, this race is going to be even more important. This time, of course, top 8 move on to the A main, the main event itself. And I'm sure one of those guys who really wants to move on to the A main is Froito Bombin. I don't know what happened to him in his heat race, but he just couldn't quite come out. So throwing the Bob in a pretty unique spot. Luckily though, he is very high up the grid, so long as Throwing the Bob can put up a solid performance in this B main, he will move on to the A main and battle with the best, as Throwing the Bob is the best. Anyway, here they come off turn number 4, and green flag is in the air, and we are underway with the B main. Oops. Joey Logano, though, being the control car, already getting out to front. Here's Perserp, though, as well. Perserp, who just won the C main, now up here in the B main. Denny Hamlin as well, another C main driver. And of course, this is the final qualifying race before the main event itself. And Denny Hamlin trying to capitalize on that. Maybe even scores some extra championship points by winning the B main. Joey Logano pulling up a bit of a lead. We have the field behind him. William Byron up here. And Fred Bell was on quite a few spots, but he just had to finish it inside the top 8. Very safe though, trying to find a way around Denny Hamlin. Well, it's very tame racing so far in the Skittles Cup Series. I don't know what that'll mean for the main event itself. As Persev now trying to find a way around Denny Hamlin. A little bit about between these guys here. Donald trying to get around William Byron. Floyd Bobbin is now finding his way to the inside as well. And Floyd Bobbin, ooh, sounds like the wrist a little bit, but trying to make haste. He's in 6th though. He's probably going to want to move up a couple more spots. And Floyd Bobbin though now makes his way around William Byron. Meanwhile, there's been a breach battle for 2nd. We've seen this. This has been the theme so far in the Skittles Cup Series racing. While they're rather close to Joey Logano, so I'm sure these guys are going to want to get up to him. Here comes Perserp and Denny Hamlin, as a matter of fact. This race is a bit longer than the ones we've seen so far, so again, so they got quite a bit of time to get up to the field. Ooh, a little bit of touching. Man, this side-by-side battle, though, is causing them grounding Joey Logano. But Perserp going to make his way around Denny Hamlin this time by. Meanwhile, Bill Bell here as well. Floyd Bobbin, who moved up to 5th, now trying to move back up to 4th. Still going at it for 2nd. This isn't really the smartest thing to do, though. I mean, if you're trying to catch up to the leader, you really don't want to be doing all this aggressive stuff with the guy in 2nd or 3rd. Man, Denny Hamlin trying once again. Going on Perserp. It's like Freddie Bobbin was made around Donald. He might be able to catch up to these guys and have something to say up here. Meanwhile, they're still going for 2nd. These won't stop, will they? Hamlin now once again gets him on Perserp. Again, this battle though for 2nd though is pointless because they're both way above the final transfer spot. But they're not racing for a lead. So far, Joey Logano's led every single lap. So he's the one who's gonna get those 3 bonus points, championship points. You know what I mean? You know, this battle, it's not for points. It's really just for fun at this point. maybe it could be just a bit of a warm-up for the main event itself, because of course these guys in a safe spot, they will move on to the A main so long as they stay, you know, up here. So here's not talking about the final transfer spot. Who's actually in the final transfer spot? Well, so far it's Donald. Donald currently in the final transfer spot. They got a couple of Penske cars. Actually, these are few Penske cars in this race. Is Keselowski in this one as well? Well, I think Logano or Keselowski all moved on up to the C main, the A main. They have Ryan Blaney. Actually, Blaney on the final transfer spot, and Blaney, who is a serious contender for the championship, now on the final transfer spot. You know, if you're high enough, though, you will still score championship points from this race. Like, 9th on back, these guys will score some championship points. This is what that's become what this race is back here. You're about Danny Six and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. battling it out. So unless these guys can pull off some sort of maneuver, they're not gonna race in the A main. Meanwhile, Ford Bob has now moved his way up through the pack here, as he is now makes way up through the pack, trying to close in on the leader. He's got quite a few laps to go, though. So for now, I've got a pretty good amount of time to make it up to the field. And now he's gonna make his way around Percy Serp. You know, a bit of a battle back here as well. William Byron and Kyle Larson getting at it. And Freddie Bob now makes his way around Percy Serp for the 3rd spot. 50 laps to go. He's got 2 more cars to pass. Freddie Bob, surprisingly, hasn't won much this year. We're 12 races into the season. And so far, he's only won 1 race, and that was the Circuit of the Americas. Persip, though, not giving up, is now Persip trying to get it back around Freddie Bobbin. Well, this is at least allowing Denny Hamlin to possibly get up to Joey Logano and battle with him for the lead. Denny Hamlin, the driver, would fall all the way back down to the C main. Now in a very comfortable spot. That's the thing, you know, with this format. You can fall all the way down and then get back up. I think it was Brett Moffitt who did a similar thing back in the special edition of the VP Racing Fuels truck race here. Now I've got the Premier Series. Let's look at it for 2nd or for 3rd now. That's Freund Bobbin. Gonna lose a spot on Percy Serp. And now he's got quite a few guys behind him as well. William Byron is actually falling all the way back down to the final transfer spot. And here is Freund Bobbin once again trying to get around Percy Serp. And what will we see about for a lead between Joe Logano and Denny Hamlin? Logano hasn't been the best this year. Hamlin, though, he's been pretty good. Now he's trying to continue his good run. He'll look to continue the good run in the A main, but just for that race, though, trying to get just a little bit more glory by winning the B main. Denny Hamlin, though, not backing down. So we got quite a bit of time left in this race. But who is going to be where? 6 to go. Actually, a battle here between Kyle Larson and Donald. Five laps to go. Now continues on for 3rd between Freund Bobbin and Percy Serp. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin still trying to close in on Joey Logano. 4 to go. And Ford Bobman's still trying to find a way around Purser. Doesn't really matter though, because he's already in a safe spot. Actually, top was quite a bit of distance on the rest of the field. Daniel though running out of time to win this race. Two laps to go. And Hamlin though still trying. One more to go in the B main. This is it. Logano's led every single lap since the start of this race. We've seen that quite a few times tonight now. Yep, and Joe Logano, pretty easy race for him, will come off to number 4 and will win the B main at New Smyrna. It became a pretty interesting race between these top guys. But of course, you're going to see the rest of the finishing grid. So Joe Logano will win will win the B main with Danny Hamlin coming home in 2nd, Purser 3rd, Fernando Bob in 4th, Carlos in 5th, William Byron 6th, Brian Blaney in 7th, and Donald in 8th. Those guys will now try to go for something just bigger. You know, it's the main event itself. Of course, it's gonna be bigger. And those top 8 will move on to the A main. However, the rest of the guys, are done for tonight with Cole Cutters coming in 9th, Matt DeBen down 10th, Oliver in 11th. Danny 6th, 12th, Reese Jones Jr. 13th, Richard 14th, Douglas 15th, Austin Jones 16th, Durper 17th, Miss Lady 18th, Eric Emerald 19th, and Quinn Alp in 20th. Those guys will be done for the day. However, for top 8, they will move on and they will race in a very big race tonight. So, that's enough qualifying races. It is time to bring on the main event itself. Alrighty then, that wraps up all of the qualifying races. It's now time for the race itself. This is the A main, the Hampton 500 at the New Smyrna Speedway. So, with that being said, let's give you a starting grid for this race. Starting the pole for this one is Fernando Bob. Alongside 2nd is Eric Jones. 3rd is William Byron. 4th is Brad Keselowski. 5th is Chris Buescher. 6th, Purser. 7th is Denny Hamlin. 8th is Christian Bell. 9th is Ryan Blaney. 10th is Nia. 11th is the Real Xbox Nerd. 12th is Kyle Larson. 13th is Joey Logano. 14th is Donald. 15th is Chase Elliott. 16th is Russell David. 17th is Bank Coaches. 18th is Kyle Busch. 19th is Martin Truex Jr. 20th is Brian Priest. 21st is Kurt Busch. 22nd is Doug. 23rd is Alex Bowman. And 24th is Ryan Newman. Okay. So, pretty stacked lineup as per usual. Well, as per usual, this is a result of quite a lot of qualifyingness going on. And this is your 24-car field that will race in this year's Hampton 500 at New Smyrna. Okay, guess one thing that's also worth mentioning, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I turned the difficulty by like 1 dial. I think. It was a small change. Hopefully it saved though. Anyway. So let's see how this race goes. It's the Cup Series in New Smyrna, the event you've all been waiting for. And alright, here we go. Green flag is in the air for the Hampton 500 at New Smyrna. Point to Bob, but now to a bit of a lead. After falling back to the B main, here he is up here in the main event. But of course, this is the main event. And I feel already though getting excited. As underneath him, here is Eric Jones getting underneath, flying to Bobbin. And Eric Jones trying to take the lead at New Smyrna. William Byron up here as well. These front runners have yet to win a Skittles Cup Series race in their career. Eric Jones, however, will lead this lap. William Byron falling behind as well. And William Byron now getting underneath Eric Jones. A little bit of contact. Nothing major though. As William Byron makes his way around Eric Jones for the lead. Okay, yeah, so Once again, with mention, I did turn up the difficulty by just a little bit. Looks like that was enough to create quite a lot of stuff, as now Eric Jones about to get around William Byron once again. This is kind of like the race that we saw in the Truck Series and the Siemens Nash Series. Let's hope we can have good racing, but not the crashes. Yeah. Alright, so Eric Jones leads. Serp up there in second, though. Looks like this little change to the trick. As I've now turned up the difficulty by, like I said, turned up the difficulty by a little bit, and it turns out that it has created some more aggressive racing, which is what we want. So we want a balance between aggressiveness and cleanliness. And I think we found that balance as William Byron now makes his way around Serp. Here comes Ryan Blaney as well. Ryan Blaney's become a serious contender for the points, the championship points lead. Got 3 races won on the season. In fact, I think he won just last weekend's race at the Pensacola Road Course. Here he is trying to make his way up the field. And Ryan Blaine now right on the rear bumper of William Byron. Might try to push him all the way a bit. And not quite yet. Feel pretty tame now. Here's Billy Xbox stood up here as well. And Ryan Blaney now trying to get around William Byron for second. And William Byron stuck on the outside line as Ryan Blaney continues trying to make the pass. And there he goes. Now the real Xbox nerd up here as well. Back to field the Tobal Motor Sports cars up here. Goes got front of the ball, but Avery Russell David up here trying to get up to the front of the field. And Bank Coach there as well. So we've got both Tobal Motorsports and both YouTube Motorsports cars in this race. The Xbox Nerd still has yet to win a race this season. And he's trying his best to get that first one of the season. Yeah, so trying to find a way around Blaney. He's going to surge underneath him. Will he be up here still? And Byron now going to make the pass around Blaney as well. So Blaney loses a couple spots. Now William Byron trying to get another spot on the Real Xbox Nerd. William Byron, he won Rookie of the Year and came home third in the points last season. But he still has yet to get that first career win. Could that come tonight? Ryan Blaney making his way back around the Real Xbox Nerd. Eric Jones well up in first place. He still has yet to win a race here in the Skittles Cup Series. What we've seen tonight, well, Eric Jones, he's still on the front row, though. Yeah, Eric Jones was indeed on the front row. And now here he is. Trying to do battle. Well, do battle. He's not really doing any battle as he's up in front. Got a bit of ground on the guys behind him now. This up here in general is really racy. Got Brian Blaney, Rear Xbox Nerd, and William Byron. Almost waiting until the guys behind start getting into this. Because back here you've got some value amongst the other Tobal Motorsports cars, and you got Ross David and Bell with Bank Coaches and Ford Bob and back here in 7th. And we still got a long way to go in this race. William Byron. And he's getting up there. Now up to second. Makes double pass. As Blaney. Now I'm going back underneath the Real Xbox Nerd. They just keep trading positions over and over again. If the number, ooh, a little bit of argy-bargy between the Real Xbox Nerd and William Byron. That could have been much worse. Also, Dave might try to get a piece of these guys as well. Here is Russell David now making his way around William Byron. And he might also make his way around his teammate-in-law of the Real Xbox Nerd. Yeah. Russell David now up here with the front runners. Now up to third. This isn't entirely unusual for Russell David, but he still gets to seal the deal. As Xbox Nerd is more experienced teammate, tries to get underneath him once again. When Byron's actually lost a little bit of ground on these guys. Ooh, Russell David, a little bit weavy. But it looks like that the Xbox might have the better of him here. Meanwhile, Ryan Blaney, now that he doesn't have to do battle with the rest of these guys, now trying to chase down Eric Jones. All this being a much longer race, we might eventually see that battle for the lead happen. Because the thing is that so far we've had mostly sprints, you know. He races 15 laps, he made 20 laps. This race, 150 laps, much longer than what we've had tonight. So much more time to see what happens. As Russell David makes his way back underneath Rear Xbox Nerd. And here is Denny Hamlin for the third race in a row. We're seeing him up here, and I mean by that I mean since the C main. You know, Denny Hamlin, he fell all the way back down the C main, then he made his way through that race, then the B main, and now here he is up here in the A main, trying to make haste. Meanwhile, Ryan Blaney trying to close the gap in on Eric Jones. Ryan Blaney, who has won 3 races this year, trying to win a 4th. Eric Jones, however, still looking for his first career Cup victory. Meanwhile, back here, Russell David loses the spot on Denny Hamlin. As now Hamlin's been able to get up here into this fight for the win. I say fight for the win. We got a long way until that happens. Although Denny Hamlin trying to get away from the pack, that might not allow him to get up to the front runners. As here's now William Byron make his way around Russell David. So we've got a rookie and a sophomore going at it. Purser makes his way around Russell David as well. And here is Ryan Blaney, who has now closed the gap to the lead on Eric Jones. This is the battle for the lead that we didn't quite see in any of the qualifying races, although this is the main event, so this is the best time to see that happen. As Ryan Blaney's got a pretty good gap on the guys behind him. Denny Hamlin's also broken away from the back of the guys behind him. Now he's trying to make ground on the leaders. Denny Hamlin's still yet to win a race this season, but he's starting to look good. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is now on. A pair of young guns, Eric Jones and Ryan Blaney. And there he goes. Ryan Blaney now side by side with Eric Jones. And Ryan Blaney going to take the lead at New Smyrna. Ryan Blaney has become a serious championship contender. All Eric Jones trying to get back around him again. Meanwhile, his JGR teammate trying to keep up with these guys. As Eric Jones now makes his way around Ryan Blaney. Yeah, Denny Hamlin, yep. Now, in his own little world right now, but he is catching up. As you continue to battle for the lead, Ryan Blaney still right behind Eric Jones. Ryan Blaney still trying to see his nose underneath Jones. And Ryan Blaney once again past Eric Jones for the lead. This battling though is helping Denny Hamlin catch up to these guys. Same for the field behind him. Looks like Purser, another driver, was broken away from the battlingness. And as result, here is Denny Hamlin and others now trying to get up to the top two. As Eric Jones continued to battle with Ryan Blaney. The field beyond these two still catching up. Eric Jones once again to passes Ryan Blaney. Here comes Denny Hamlin and others as well. Matrix Jr. getting up here too. Got a few JGR cars up here now. And Ryan Blaney once again getting around Eric Jones. But now there's some competition coming up. Here is Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin now looking to the inside of Eric Jones. That's teammates. And Denny Hamlin going to make a pass on Eric Jones. And Denny Hamlin taking a bit of distance on Eric Jones now, trying to find a way around Ryan Blaney. Here's Purser as well, and Matrix Jr. At this point, the only GG guy we're missing is Kyle Busch, who is in this race but is back in 18th. And here is Percy Serp, another driver who also was in the C main, is now all the way up here. And I almost forgot to mention Denny Hamlin, another driver that was in the C main. Could he come from rags to riches, from being at the lowest point to the highest point in victory lane? A little bit of single file is going on, but Hamlin trying to keep up with Ryan Blaney. A clean race so far in New Smyrna. More clear than two races that we've had previously. You know, so far in the feature race that we've had this weekend, truck race and senior night race were both quite messy. However, we are now 55 laps into this Cup Series race. No cautions at all, which is good. Because the thing is, the thing about crashes in racing is that sure they are kind of cool when they happen, but then when they happen so much, it's not really that cool anymore. At that point, it looks like a minor league. And here's Percy Serp, now making his way around Denny Hamlin. These two battled with each other in both the C main and the B main, and here they are in the A main, once again battling. This time though, we got a long way to go in the race. This isn't a sprint anymore. Percy though, it looks like he's broken away from the pack. And Percy, with what we must mention, he has not had a good season so far. He is now trying to save it. Actually, nah, Percy has had a decent season so far. I'm thinking of Tim Tom. Percy, he actually qualified on pole position for the season opener at Willow Springs. But he hasn't had much since. And he's trying to change that tonight. Now, I've come this far without a caution, but I feel like there's going to be one at some point later in this race. Oh, Denny Hamlin getting to the back end of Percy. We go back here now. There's a bit battle between Eric Jones and Marchese Jr. Those are GGR teammates. It's Denny Hamlin once again trying to get underneath Purser. All the bound for lead isn't really helping, because their main goal should be to get up to Ryan Blaney, challenge him for the lead. You know, Blaney, he already had to work his way up to Eric Jones, so he's led several laps. Now Denny Hamlin trying to do the same, but he's got Purser on his tail. Purser is not giving up. He wants this spot for some reason. Realistically, you don't want to battle too much because it will slow you down. You really want to take the best racing line you can. And the best way to do that is to not be battling with someone else. The Hamlin now trying to stay ahead of Percy Serp. Percy though still looking beneath him, and there he goes again. This is not optimal if they want to get up to Ryan Blaney and battle him. I mean, battling for second is cool, but when you have a good shot at battle for the lead, that would be even cooler. And that's what these guys should be aiming for. And here's Purser still in the back bumper of Ryan Blaney. Denny Hamlin. Yeah, this has been trailing now for quite a few laps. There he goes up. Purser now on the inside of Denny Hamlin. Is he going to shut the door on me? Yes, he will. Denny Hamlin looks like he's now ignoring Purser's request to battle him. And Hamlin's doing everything he can to keep Purser behind him so he can get to the Blaney. There he goes again. Purser once again. Purser trying to get around Hamlin, but Hamlin not budging. And you can blame him. Hamlin does not want to worry about Purser, but he's probably more focused on Ryan Blaney. Oh, Purser takes underneath him. Ooh, he shoves him high a bit. That's going to ruin all the momentum that Hamlin had. And we'll allow Purser to get underneath Denny Hamlin. You know, there's been battle for fourth. But some of the other GGR guys falling back a bit is now Kurt Busch and Freund Bobbin having their own little battle. But now looks like they're trying to get into the Hamlin-Purser battle and try to join in these guys. What is this going to turn into? As boys become a brawl of both the manufacturers. You've got Fords in top two. Then you have then you got Toyota and a couple Chevys. So Denny Hamlin now in a Ford and Chevy sandwich. Well, Percy Serp. Ah, man, he's lost quite a bit of ground to Blaney now. For a while now, actually, Kurt Busch must have slipped the racer at some point because he's not falling back a bit. As here's now Freund Bobbin up into fourth. He was on the front with Eric Jones, but as we've seen tonight, they're on the top lane. They might lose out on quite a few spots. Although now, we're almost at the halfway point in this race. And now Freund Bobbin is coming alive. Meanwhile, Purser and Hamlin are slowly but surely catching up to Blaney. But they have to not battle. These guys know right now that battling will slow these guys down. Because Hamlin was actually getting pretty close to Blaney until Purser got underneath him. And now Purser trying to do the same thing. But Hamlin, though, is trying to get underneath him. It's literally now the inverse of what we just saw. And here we go again. Hamlin now going underneath Purser. But they're having to take various racing lines that are not the fastest. Then Hamlin once again losing ground to Ryan Blaney. But here is Freund Bobbin now trying to challenge these guys. Freund Bobbin now trying to find his way around these guys. And It's up to they just. And the reason why Ryan Blaney has led so many laps. You know, it was about 40 or so laps ago that Ryan Blaney took the lead away from Eric Jones, and Blaney's been on first since. These drivers behind it, they're gonna have to pick up the pace. Because if they don't, then Ryan Blaney's just gonna walk away. He's winning his 4th win of the season. Ryan Blaney so far the only repeat winner, I think, in the Skittles Cup Series. It's like Denny Hamlin or Ryan Blaney trying to keep that streak alive. Although if Hamlin wins, it'll be his 1st win of the season. Same for Purser. But if Bobbin wins, it'll be his 2nd win of the season. Speaking of Bobbin, he's actually under a bit of fire from Eric Jones. Eric Jones, who did have the lead for quite a few laps, now trying to get back up to the lead, as he's now trying to find a way around Bobbin. Looks like he will. Eric Jones now underneath Bobbin. Yep, Eric Jones makes way around Bobbin. You know, I have 2nd person once again trying to get around Denny Hamlin. If these two keep battling, Ryan Blaney is going to be unstoppable. Oh, if someone can go up to Purser and interfere with this battle, then Denny Hamlin gives up to Ryan Blaney and possibly take him on for the lead. But all depends on who does what. Because Eric Jones got quite a bit of a gap between him and Purser. And this isn't the first time that we've seen Ryan Blaney dominate performance. He dominated Las Vegas for a while, but then lost out because of, I think it was pit stops or caution or something. Then he led a bunch of laps at Phoenix, which allowed him to win that race. They're splitting up now. Ryan Blaney or Denny Hamlin getting a bit of distance on, or getting away from Purser, trying to catch up to to Ryan Blaney and take him on for the lead. And Blaney, his 3rd win of the season, actually came out as a bit of a surprise as a result of some weird stuff going on late in the race at the Pensacola Road Course. Well, now that we are back at a more normal racetrack, we shouldn't see any weirdness for now. Here's Denny Hamlin, who finally got a bit of a distance on Purser, and now he can set his sights on Ryan Blaney. Denny Hamlin, I don't think he won a single race last year, actually. Oh, pit stops are occurring. I saw this coming. Pit stops are now occurring. As drivers can't really complete a full race at this track on one set tires. Let's hope there aren't any crashes, though. Because there have been unfortunate incidents where drivers have come off pit road. Oh, well, yeah, I'm just pretending I didn't see that. Anyway, Alex Bowman, first one off pit road. Alright. So there was a bit of a problem on pit road, but looks like we're gonna have a safe release on everyone. Yeah. So there was some confusion there on pit road, but looks like the confusion later subsided. Brad Keselowski got squeezed in by William Byron here. Some drivers still coming down pit road, I think. No. Yeah. It's not over. Alright, well, looks like pit stops got complete without a hitch. So according to the scoreboard, Kurt Busch now being scored for first. No, it's back to Hamlin now. Denny Hamlin, under pit stops, he took the lead away from Ryan Blaney. And thank goodness, pit stops were completed successfully. Looks like we will now go green all the way to the finish. Field a little bit spread out. So we've got Denny Hamlin in the lead now, Ryan Blaney second, then you have Serp. And a bit of a gap to these next guys. Here you've got Kurt Busch going to Bobbin and bang coaches. But now the battle for the lead is about to resume. Denny Hamlin has the lead, but Ryan Blaney trying to close in. Same for Serp. There's quite a bit of a gap between these guys, but that gap should close up as the race goes along. 50 laps to go. Hamlin has that lead, but Ryan Blaney still trying to keep up. Any lap drive to be concerned of? Not really. So who guys came up? Oh, looks like William Byron is lapped on. Brad Keselowski got pinched. So it looks like due to pit road, it says Brad Keselowski might be out of the race. Still gonna come up with 24, but like still, it's alright, I guess. But Denny Hamlin, those laps, but here comes Blaney. Actually, the more these two battle, the closer that the field behind these guys is gonna get. Because there's a bit of a gap between Blaney and the Serp and these three guys. However, that gap should close up from now and the end of the race. As here is Denny Hamlin, now leading. But Ryan Blaney, not too far behind. What has been a caution-free race so far has been quite a good one. I'm quite happy that this race has been caution-free compared to the mess that we've seen this weekend. So I'm quite happy with the way this race has turned out so far. Ryan Blaney now looking to catch up to Denny Hamlin. I think I jumped to Denny Hamlin. I should have said to overtake Denny Hamlin. So, will we see a first-time winner in the season, or will we see Ryan Blaney get a fourth win? This would also be the second time that Ryan Blaney gets 2 wins in a row, because he got his first win at Las Vegas, and the very next race he won at Texas Motor Speedway. Then last weekend he won at the Pensacola Road Course, and now it's only been a week later, and Ryan Blaney, who is now overtaken Denny Hamlin, is trying to get that 4th win. Denny Hamlin, though, not too far behind. Looks like it's going to come down to a duel. As Serp, and I don't know how hard he's pushing, but Denny Hamlin overtakes Ryan Blaney once again. And Denny Hamlin now gets back around Ryan Blaney. First, though, 1.8 seconds back. So it looks like unless the caution were to come out, Persev goes on some thing, or at least to make a mistake, which allows Persev to catch up to them. Looks like it's going to come down to a duel between Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin. Ryan Blaney's been a bit of a favorite here in the Cup Series. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin, he's not the most respected driver by the fans, but he's still quite popular, and he's still very good. Still gets to win a championship, though. As he makes his way around Ryan Blaney. And Hamlin back to the lead. Persev, though, is slowly catching up now. We could see Persev battle with these guys in the last laps of this race. We do still have quite a few laps to go, but it's not that much now. So Persev is going to have to make haste. And also another factor in the equation, lapped cars. Here's Christopher Bell, who's running quite slowly for some reason. I should also mention, it's nice to have all the GGR cars in this race. So you have all 4 GGR Mothership cars, and then you have Christopher Bell for Levine Family Racing, which is owned by GGR, or has an alliance with GGR. Although that could cause some problems for Denny Hamlin. Here, Denny Hamlin trying to go for the win, and then your teammate-in-law of his slowing him up. Things might get hairy here as Denny Hamlin once again trying to get around Ryan Blaney. As he will overtake Blaney once again. There he goes. Hamlin to the lead. Persev, I was getting a bit of ground. I got some more. He is closing in, but it's rather slow. Now Ryan Blaney once again going around Denny Hamlin. And Christopher Bell is coming up. That being said, though, Christopher Bell is slightly keeping ahead of these guys, but he will probably be overtaken and lapped eventually. So less than 25 laps to go. Blaney is still trying, but so is Hamlin. And Persev trying to gain ground. Well, unless these guys make a mistake, it might be too late for Persev to catch up. But we'll see what happens. You can't really predict all racing. And here's Denny Hamlin now getting around Blaney. Ooh, Blaney was a little bit high. I think he scraped the wall a bit. No damage. Persev is catching up, though. In fact, the side-by-side stuff between Hamlin and Blaney is helping Persev catch up slowly but surely. So Persev now under a second back. I'm saying a lot about Persev despite him barely being in the frame. But there could be enough time for him to catch up to these guys, and he is. Meanwhile, you've got Christopher Bell, who for the longest time has been staying in front of the leaders. Well, the leaders will catch up to him very soon, at least before the end of this race. Hamlin right behind him, though. This could become a very interesting maneuver. Although Denny Hamlin getting around Ryan Blaney now. I guess he wants to be the one out in front when they get around Christopher Bell. Bell, though, he's just been driving as hard as he can, not really paying much attention to what's happening behind him. As Purdy has caught up a bit. Okay, I think Bell is starting to slow these guys up a bit. Which is allowing Purdy to catch up to these guys. They could do battle with them soon. Oh, Ham is now at the back bumper of Christopher Bell. It's time to go. As Denny Hamlin now makes his way around Christopher Bell. Ryan Blaney trying to stay close by Hamlin to do the same. Looks like he will. The doubtful lead continues between Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. Meanwhile, Percy see if he can get around Bell fast enough. Christopher Bell actually trying to keep up with Ryan Blaney. And Bell has just been lapped, so he's not really that competitive anymore. In fact, now he's slowing up Percy. So it's like it's been narrowed down the race to these two, Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. The two that are racing for the win in the Hampton 500 New Smyrna. It was at the end of a crazy weekend of racing. The Cup Series is the most tame of all the feature races. Which is probably a good thing, because considering how many crashes we've seen this weekend, it's about time we have a tame race at this track. As Ryan Blaney still trying to get around Denny Hamlin. 9 laps to go. Purdy has begun to move his way around Christopher Bell. And is now trying to catch up to the leaders. This is going to get crazy. 8 laps to go in New Smyrna. It's come down to these 3. Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, and Percy Serp. Damn, I'm not backing down. And he's ready for a bumper. Percy's still a bit of a distance away from these guys. So this might just come down to the wire. Will Ryan Blaney hold off Hamlin, or is Hamlin going to do it? Now once again, trying to take his own to Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney really wants to get that 4th win, but Denny Hamlin still wanting to win as well. Five laps to go. 4.5 now. As Ryan Blaney now on the outside of Denny Hamlin, and Percy Serp is trying to get into the mix. 4 laps to go. This is it. The top 3 is now all together now. Not much time left to make a move. 3 laps to go. Denny Hamlin has the lead, but Ryan Blaney still trying. Two laps to go. Blaney's still trying. He's running out of time. Trying to stick his bum with Denny Hamlin. He may have to send it. Here we go. White flag. 1 more lap to go. Ryan Blaney still trying to find a way around Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin is holding him off. And it looks like that Blaney is not going to have enough time. Denny Hamlin will come out of turn number 4 and win the Hampton 500 at New Smyrna. Wow. Denny Hamlin. He's had quite the night tonight. But he comes out as the winner at the end of the day. Denny Hamlin, who didn't do that well in the heat race, Had to go all the way back down to the C main. Made it through the 2 qualifying races that followed those. Made it to the A main. And now he's in victory lane. Denny Hamlin is your winner at New Smyrna after having quite the night. How about that? So, considering the rest of the grid, Ryan Blank comes in second, Purser third, Kurt Busch fourth, Freund Bob in fifth, Bank Coach sixth, Eric Jones seventh, Ryan Preece eighth, Joe Logano ninth, and Russell Dave with a top 10. Now, starting to improve his pace with Collins coming in 11th, Donald 12th, Martin Jr. 13th, Kyle Busch 14th, Chase Elliott 15th, Alex Bowman 16th, Duck 17th, Chris Buescher 18th, Ryan Newman 19th, Neil 20th, the Relix Buckner 21st, Christopher Bell 22nd, William Barr 23rd, and Brad Keselowski 24th. Looks like Keselowski got taken out by an accident, but it's 24th, so it's still not a terrible day, I guess, considering that it could have been worse. See, put it this way. Sure, Keselowski finished dead last in the feature race, but it could have been worse. He could have not even been in the A-main at all, and he could have, whatever. So, that is it for New Smyrna. That is an entire weekend of racing all over with. Next weekend will be a little bit less racy, if you know what I mean. There will be less races, no qualifying races. It'll just be your standard race and stuff. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up from New Smyrna at least. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.